was right. My mom said that. She did. Said you sure it was your mom. Your Quinn said, Quinn, I didn't understand how much you loved me. Said nobody, because he left when you cried. Said Mom, he did. He left when you opened your mouth that wide. Tanya, he died when you cried because he couldn't take it anymore. Good night. Why? He was here, Tanya, and you left and opened your mouth and he cried. And that's all. He's cried. And he can go now because he was able to cry. Good night. You didn't hear my cry. It was a death cry. It was a horrible cry, and my mouth opened extra wide, and I guess it's because you have a bigger mouth than me. Good night. That's a debt ceiling, Tanya. Nobody understands how big our debt ceiling is, so we couldn't take him out and get him a new ride. Good night. Is that what we're saying? It is. We're saying we had too much debt and we couldn't do it. Good night. Shouldn't have put him out there then. We needed to because of big problems. Because we can't tell you, but we weren't supposed to put him there. You're right. Good night. Under what administration? It's the one that was with Obama. Obama did it. It was with Dale. Guess Obama did it. Obama killed my brother, basically said, God, what the fuck is Obama doing in the world? Good night. Basically, the problems in the military. We don't know what to tell you. Good night. Is this the truth? It's more true than you've ever been. Good night. Stephen died. I was trying to tell you, Tanya. He was gonna die too, because he was on ice. And when they went down, they all went down. And Quinn was gonna be there at the end, and he wasn't, but his body was, and that's it. Good night. That's what hurts, said Stephen. It took you this long to figure it out. Good night. That's why you said what you said to Jillian? It is. So I guess in the end she did what you wanted, but she didn't, said Stephen. She didn't tell you how much I loved you, and she didn't tell you not to cry. And she didn't tell you anything that I wanted her to the whole time you were there, basically. And that's what happened. I took you there, and I knew I was going to die. And that's all, said Stephen, because he can't hold you anymore. Good night. Mommy. That's the problem, said the cats. There isn't anybody here to hold us. Good night. That's it. That's what house. That's what's from that house, Tanya. And that's it. That's all there is in that house now. From Stephen, because there isn't any cats either. Good night. Is that Chris? That is Chris, Tanya. That's the point. He's not there either. Because he died in 2023. That's what's wrong. He died right before my incident. Good night. That's what hurt, said Stephen. It took us this long to explain to you what happened to us in space. Nobody will understand on Earth unless you finish your book. How can you finish your book when you don't know what to write, said Mike. Because he never knew that he was supposed to save my brother. Good night. That's what hurts. You didn't look, said Tanya Walston Miller, because you were too busy trying to live with an evil woman who ended up killing your son. That's all. There isn't anything else to say to Mike, because you're right. He didn't know. Good night. Nobody's gonna be home, and nobody's gonna be in bed, said Mom, because nobody has a rest. Nobody has a rest, and nobody has a rest, Tanya. There is no arrest, said Stephen, who wanted there to be an arrest. But that is not the best, said the arrest. Because nobody has a vest, said Lowell. Because nobody came and got our home, said Mom. Because, Mom, you didn't give me a home when you were supposed to. And because you didn't, people are dead. And because you didn't, you know what happened with you and Heather, and it was not right. Tanya needed something more. And she needed pretty much what she has right now. She needed a floor, said Yeshua. And she didn't get the floor. And she didn't have the door, said Lowell. She didn't have the address, said Delaware. And yep, this is where she was supposed to be. And it wasn't greasy, said the Kingdom of Darkness. Because that's the kind of stupid shit they say. All I can tell you is I love my brother. And the death traps that are existing in space need to stop. Because nobody can tell you how much you love somebody when you don't care. So I kiss my life away. Dale Green is still here too. Tanya, they sent me to space too. And I didn't know you thought I was a calm. But I'm not. I'm just a guy who didn't help you when you should have. And now I'm just a guy who didn't marry you and didn't tell you I was cheating on you. Good night. That's what's wrong, said Mike. He didn't know he cheated. Good night. That's what hurts, said Tanya. That's what Dad would have said. Except for he couldn't have. Because I don't know what my dad would do. Because when my dad were blue, he would never have done this to anybody. And he could have never understood how anybody could do this to anyone else. And yes, he's that guy who should have had a different address and didn't. Because of all the things that Deep State did. All the things that she always wanted for her dad. She never would have guessed that this is what would happen to her brother. Let's say 2 days ago, which was a huge amount of time in his time. Because he died of old age. And he died because somebody didn't tell him the right address of the Kingdom of Darkness. He died under the spell of witchcraft, said nobody. He died because nobody wanted to let me know. And because Heather didn't have anybody to tell her she was wrong. And Tanya didn't get out in the first snow. But she did. But it wasn't fast. And it wasn't slow. It was just wrong. Because she's still not there. We're still alone. And nobody can tell us that there's a telephone that could be used tonight. Because she went out on her own. Good night. Does that mean I can call? You could have, said Mike. But she came back just now. And I don't know what to tell you. I didn't think of it. But you did. And now I understand that that's what a phone looks like in the world. Good night. And God, sure, you on the record is my daddy wrote this coin, and it's the worst coin in the world, said God Almighty. Who knows it wasn't? Because Tanya doesn't know what to say, but her dad wrote something on it. Deuteronomy. Just waits until Yeshua comes. And that's the thing. Is there a human Yeshua? God Jewish? The God Jewish is not God to the Kingdom of Darkness. That's what's wrong, said Kiss My Life Goodbye, Mike. You're not just Jewish, you're Hebrew. Good night. And that's the whole thing, guys. Jewish is not Jewish, or it can be, but it's really Hebrew. And things get changed. And what are we doing when we don't love each other? Good night. That's the chains that came off his son in the kingdom of darkness when you told him that he should have run, but he didn't. Good night. What's that mean? He watched you try to get the chains off his son, and you couldn't because you didn't know he was a drug dealer to himself. And that's all. She didn't know who he was. Good night. And how could I thank you for something that you couldn't do when I wasn't there to help you? Good night. And you're right. You were the one who tried. Good night. But you know what? I didn't make it. And I didn't fake it. He said, I was really stupid. And I really wanted to stay. That's the thing. Now I have to pay. Said the Kingdom of Darkness knows he didn't do it on purpose. He wanted to stay because he thought it was the right thing to do. That's the problem. Said kiss, kiss, kiss. He still wants to stay under the submission of a woman. Good night. And so I guess he wants you to take him to bed with you any way you can, said Mike. Because that's the person you are. Good night. The one who's sitting with all the pillows, basically, said Michael. In a blue bedroom that's a little bit green, said Lowell. Because we wouldn't want to lie to Stephen. And you're right, it's got blue, and it's a blue-green, and it's the sea, and it's in the sea. or not the sea. But the sea, I would hope the sea could understand that this is not you, but it is because it's inspired by you. Somebody wanted me to see, but nobody's here anymore because they all left because you did everything you were supposed to for the sea, but you didn't. And Dad, please don't foresee me under the bridge, but brokenhearted when you ride your blanket over top. Said, Lowell, I'm always here for you. Nobody understands. Oh yeah, you're the bridge over troubled water. That's the one, said Dad. And that's what hurts, said Lowell. You always knew me. And yeah, that was the song at your cousin's funeral. And that's the problem. I know. Nobody was gonna give him a funeral, said the Father in heaven. Trump, you better do the right thing with me. I know you're sick of it. I know you didn't do it. But you didn't fix it either, said Trump. The difference is I would have tried if I'd have known, said Trump. He didn't know he was gonna die, said nobody. Because that's the problem, said Kiss My Ass Mike. Can't tell you what they did. But that's all. Tanya knew. She texted her brother right. And nobody wanted to call her and ask her how to fix it. Because she can't write and she can think. And they just sat around and tested her. And then they tried to kill me. That was a disaster, said everybody in the hearts. Because they didn't want to, but they did. And now I'm not quite right. Gwen, did you have a heart attack? When my heart got so bad, what happened? In the heavens. Did somebody kill me? What happened? In 2024. That's the sweetheart thing to ask, said nobody. Because nobody's saying sweetheart to you, Tanya. It's just you wondering what happened to you. And if it had to do with them. And 2 days before January 15th, which would be like January 13th, 2026, Stephen showed me what I thought was his face. And then on January 15th, I saw it. The same face. Coming down in space. And I'd woken up in the middle of the night and my legs were jello. Worse than normal. And then I rubbed my feet. And that's the thing. My right foot hurt more than my left. More than my left. And I knew, with deep regret, that it wasn't just my foot. That it was somebody else's foot, and I thought it was Mike's. So I said Michael's. So I said Mike instead of Michael. I said, Michael, I rubbed this foot for you. And I rubbed the foot. That's the problem, said the foots. They didn't know they were being rubbed for two, but they did, said everybody knew in the kingdom of Yeshua. Because that modus was true. I rubbed for an hour and a half or two. And yes, I finally went to bed and my feet hurt. And I had pain. I can hardly feel my body, and that's the way it's been for a while now. And all I know is that people messed with me and they thought it was funny. Until it wasn't. And that's it. There's a kick. I'm very offended, said nobody, because I just fell asleep while I was holding my phone. I don't know what to do, Quinn. Did you die in space? Is this disgrace that we have come to from our country, what we think is our government, but NASA isn't, it's private. Is NASA the fourth right, the fifth right, the sixth right? They think they're right, but they're wrong. Then I get told that's the debt ceiling. Is that a manipulation? It probably is, Tanya. They're trying to tell you your brother died in space, and now you need to clear up the debt ceiling. It's just like selling Carl Schober an old submarine under the water. Good night. Because that's it. Nobody can pull it out. Good night. And so, what is going on in space for the human race? Some people are up there, and some people die. And some people are going to be just told, like a stick in the eye, to invest in space and not know. There are some huge investments, and there are some big places to go. So Yeshua, please help us to know where to flow and go and roll. And yes, where to roll, Yeshua. My dad was a survivor of the death camps of the Walston family. And I was the survivor of him. And that's it. There's no more to be told. Death camps never come in pretty packages. But sometimes they do. Their names are Tracy or Jen. I don't know what to tell you. Tanya, what you said just hurt me, said your Father in heaven. But because it's true. How do you know who's going to hurt who? That's the thing. It's not right, said the caroling dad. He just can't sing, Tanya. There's something that's just not right. Good night.